A very good evening to you all. I'm back after a 2-day hiatus due to a rather hectic weekend. So today I'm going to speak about Saint Martin the Poré, whose feast it is today. So some years ago, when I received my first Holy Communion, one of the gifts I got was a book called 20 Heroes. I don't remember the author, unfortunately, nor do I know if it is still available, but it is a treasure. I read it over and over again. The lives of 20 saints in detail. One was Saint Martin the Poré, and I remember feeling so sorry for him as he had a tough childhood, a lot of challenges growing up. And guess what? He even faced racism and humiliation in the seminary. But he persevered in love for God and love for his fellow beings, even those who maligned, ridiculed, and abused him. He was endowed with many spiritual gifts, yet remained humble and the servant of all, according to Jesus' exhortation in Mark 9, verse 35, which I quote. Then he sat down, called the 12, and said to them, "If anyone wishes to be first, he shall be the last of all and the servant of all." Saint Martin truly strived to live Jesus. Two of his famous quotes: "Everything, even sweeping, scraping vegetables, weeding a garden, and waiting on the sick, could be a prayer if it were offered to God." The second quote: "Always search for ways to help others, not so as to receive their indebtedness, but so as to be Jesus to them." He fearlessly cared for people during an epidemic and ministered to nobles and the poor without any distinction. He had an extraordinary rapport with animals and even succeeded in negotiating with a school of mice that had taken residence in the monastery, causing havoc therein, and successfully had them shifted out into the garden where he would provide them food. When his body was exhumed 25 years later, it was intact and even exuded a fine fragrance. He has always been one of my favorite saints, and I believe he could be a wonderful inspiration for anyone struggling with dysfunctional families, persecution, constant humiliation, rejection, and even racism. May Saint Martin intercede for us strongly in these difficult times and obtain many graces for us, so that we may ceaselessly glorify God and serve Him with love. Amen.